There's this white lady who does a cover of, I'll say it's Chris Brown, maybe. Look at Me Now with Busta Rhymes
Yeah?
on it. Yeah. Do you know that
No
song?
way. Oh, I love that song, actually.
Oh, well, I should remind me to send you the link because this lady fucking kills it. Like, Busta Rhymes heard it and he was like, damn. You know, like,
Did his eyes bug out?
probably. But she says jigger instead of, and I don't know that that's really any better, you know?
Well, I think she's found a loophole.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's like if you're like, if you got a rhyme on it, I understand. Look at you.
Mazel tov.
I was
How's it going?
I was so bummed that there's no virtual background on here until post process because I was going to show up with the picture you sent us as my background.
Hilarious.
Yeah, this is kind of a different ball game over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at this.
we're gonna have to
I mean,
put out a warning for epileptics.
I could calm that shit down too. I have a
Can you make it any color you want?
yeah, pick a color.
I'm noticing a delay between Jeremy's audio and video.
I did notice that as well.
Do a little sound check, Jer. Now you're mute.
Yeah, you hit
We
a mute
cannot
button.
hear you. Your mute button seems activated, so we can't hear you, Jer. At this point,
We should say nasty things about him while it's muted.
well, he can still hear us.
I know, but then he can't yell at us.
he can gesticulate wildly.
Oh,
Ah, good idea. He definitely hit something.
yeah.
'Cause
You're still muted. I can see it. Wait, hold on.
maybe you hit a
second.
button on the microphone.
I think, Jeremy, you may have just hit mute on yours.
Hello?
There you are.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, now I can't hear you.
Can you really can't hear us?
You can hear me, but I can't hear you. So give me 1 second. Speakers.
You have your.
The
There
fall.
you go.
What happens when three high school friends reunite during a Trump apocalypse? I'll tell you what happens. They do a podcast, little buddy.
I'm shitting my pants metaphorically for once.
You are watching Generation Exile.
All right. Well, welcome.
Okay,
Guys,
Welcome
my
to
audio check is over.
Epstein-a-palooza.
Yeah.
One at a time. What did you say,
I
Dave?
said, welcome to Epstein-a-palooza.
Oh, and Mike, you
I-
said yay.
I said yay. I feel particularly, I don't know, celebratory tonight, gentlemen. I'm proud of Jeremy's wins of recent late, and I don't know. I'm hoping that perhaps accountability for Trump maybe in the not too distant future. Dare I hope? No. Dave's shaking his head. No.
Yeah, we're already on the next news cycle, it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I was looking at some of the Republican response, and it was like, oh my Lord. I mean, they're really hinging on the young woman who killed herself as the smoking gun that all this is a hoax.
Right.
Which doesn't make sense. Like, what's a hoax? These are emails that the guy actually sent people.
Right.
This is not, unless they're saying that these were created or fabricated, but Jeffrey Epstein actually emailed Michael Wolff, the reporter. He emailed Maxwell and said the things he said,
Right.
which include saying Trump is the dog that didn't bark, saying that Trump was that he had Thanksgiving with Trump and Epstein and after he was president, and saying a number of incriminating things.
What?
So
Yeah.
what is the hoax?
So I
Well,
think the
well,
hoax. I was
No,
gonna say
go ahead, Dave.
the hoax. What they're claiming is that the email where they redacted the victim's name that he spent hours in the house with. The Republicans came out and said the redacted name was that Virginia Jeffrey or Jeffrey, I don't know.
Yep.
And she had said personally that Trump never did anything with her or untoward, and she never saw him do anything. So they're saying
a dead victim's testimony.
Well, she was alive when she said it.
I know, but she can't speak to the new.
Right.
Right. A lot of people. I even heard Megyn Kelly might have ascended to like the worst human being on the planet. There's like an interview with her and a former reporter for like one of the Jewish publications named Batya. I want to say Saran. I used to be friendly with her.
Isn't that from
she's
Lord
kind
of the Rings?
Saran comes up every week in some form, shape. But I can't remember Batya's last name, but whatever. She's turned into a MAGA reporter. And the two of them were talking about how no young victims have come forward and Me Too Donald Trump for raping them.
Yeah, why? I mean, it's so safe to do such a thing. Why wouldn't they?
Right. It's just like it's like crazy to say something like that. I mean, I think like one girl came forward with blurred face and accused him of rape, and she disappeared within like a week of that video. Video was scrubbed. You never heard from her again. It's not easy for women to come forward when it's not Donald Trump. When it's just like Joe the plumber, not the Joe the plumber, but just some rando.
Could have been Joe the plumber.
How could it could have. So how could it be safe for a woman to come forward with Donald Trump and all of his, media might and money to throw at ruining them?
And any woman with a bit of sense would anticipate that if I go public with this claim, it's going to change my life forever. And I'm going to be subject to an incredible amount of scrutiny, publicity, lack of privacy. And I could see many people choosing, no, not for me.
And now think of the age of the victims. Like a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old has to make these decisions. Like, of course, they're going to not say anything.
But look, I'm eager to see any dirt and facts that might be revealed. It seems like Epstein was talking about in these emails more of a threat to tarnish Trump's reputation.
Yeah. He was protecting him and his associates from Trump's wrath with the what they purport to have over Trump's head.
He mentioned that Trump was alone in the room with the victim for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Also a hoax. He can't last that long.
Oh God.
Does that mean Virginia Giuffre specifically?
Well,
we don't know.
That's what Caroline Leavitt was saying. Like that name was name was redacted, and she came out and said no, it was Virginia G. And
great job of protecting anonymity with the.
Oh no, I just said G because I can't pronounce her name. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Oh, okay.
She said the full name.
Gotcha. There was another Megyn Kelly segment with this Batya woman that it's probably worth us listening to together. Because you won't believe what is said. It is, it's just crazy. I have it queued up. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Yeah. This is like, if this is the level of excusing away or, defending Donald Trump, then he's cooked. Because this is just not going to cut it. Can you see browser?
Yeah.
As
do you hear it?
Epstein,
yes.
I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts.
It's not legal.
That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn. Now they call it child sexual abuse material on his computer that for the first time I thought, oh, no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. Yeah. You know, it's just whatever.
So she's got some columns.
Yeah, that's so fucking gross. I mean,
it's like, what happened to that lady? She was like a conservative, you know, a holy rolling Bible thumping, you know, and now she's sort of like, oh, you know, if they're 8, it's gross. If they're like 13 or 15,
and see, she's reducing it.
Fair game.
She's reducing the whole thing down to a level of attraction, and it's like, oh well, he's attracted to like the female figure and the curves and this and that, so it's not bad. But it's still a fucking child, you know. Like a 15-year-old girl is a 15-year-old girl, not woman.
They go on to have a further conversation about how Epstein was the pedophile, but there was no pedophile ring. He would have his way with these girls when they were, you know, 10 and 11 or 12. And then when they reached, you know, the sort of barely legal age that she's sort of qualifying.
Barely illegal, I think is the...
barely illegal. She would pass them along to these other players that you were hearing about. So they're not pedophiles. And it's not a ring. It's just... I don't know if you want to call it their bar mitzvah, or their bat mitzvah from being illegal to being barely illegal.
Talk about a coming out party.
I mean, you know how everything they kind of say about you is usually a reflection of themselves?
Yeah.
Well, they're like justifying these enablers because they're probably, you know, amongst their, you know, Steve Bannon, I think, was implicated in some of these emails of having spent time with Jeffrey Epstein. Alan Dershowitz has been accused of spending time. There's like enough MAGA people too.
Right.
Like this doesn't excuse Democrats. And we've said on this show before that no matter who it is, Democrat or Republican, if you were involved, you should go to jail. You should be punished.
Right.
They don't want to play that same fight. They want it, you know, they want it both ways. But this is like weird, sick, you know, posturing. Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile. There was like thousands of young victims. Some were younger than others, but all were victims. And you can't qualify or sort of group them in different categories. They were all groomed. They were all taken advantage of. And like, no one's come forward at age 10, like what we were talking about before.
Yeah, because
like,
you know how 10-year-olds love to call the press.
Right. Hey, is Megyn Kelly there? I gotta get back to, you know, 3rd grade, but I won't have a hot scoop. You know, it's just ridiculous. We're in like stupid season.
Yeah.
And
You've been there a long time.
I thought we have, but now like the chickens have come home to roost with the Epstein stuff. Like, this is the tip of the iceberg. We didn't even get the Epstein files yet. This was released by the Epstein estate, these emails.
I thought
the good stuff.
I thought these emails were released by a House committee.
Yeah.
They were released by the House committee to the public. They were provided by the Epstein estate, which must have released them to the House committee.
So I have a question about this. Are those the only emails they got, or are those just the 3 they chose? Because then the
Republicans. There's 20,000.
I was snooping around.
So
I think
that was part. So that
look
big
that shit up.
Yeah, that big document dump. It was part of that document dump.
Yeah.
Yes, right. The Republicans then were like, "Well, you're only showing partial. Here, take everything." And it's like, okay, like that.
Yeah, no,
idea.
You know, that's the thing. You know, you used to be like 20,000 documents would be a tall order. But now you can feed that shit to AI and say, find me every instance of the word Trump. You know,
Right.
that's it.
I looked up Dave Eagle and Michael Romanelli today just to make sure.
In the Epstein files?
Yeah, you guys were not in
Yeah.
there. Sorry, I should have framed that
Phew.
first. But yeah, no, you could do crazy searches and really quick, and you can find stuff. They've already found Epstein talking to some of like Russia's top officials about,
Right about that.
giving dirt on Donald Trump. I mean, Trump's
Yeah.
name has brought them to some of the worst
Right.
allegations.
So that was another thing was like Jeffrey Epstein was keeping tabs on Donald Trump's flying patterns. Do we know what that's about?
I think that the two of them were very close friends.
Right.
I think that that's not like a guess.
This is
That
post-friendship, though.
Fact. Yeah. So I think that when a friendship unrolls, and now you have someone who's running for president and someone who's running for their life from the authorities, you start to realize that everything you know about that guy is going to be key to your survival. And this is him in that strategic phase, talking to Ghislaine, talking to Michael Wolff. But by the way, that guy seemed like a real loser too. He's like giving
Douchebag,
advice
that
to
guy.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
Epstein.
Yeah.
This guy's been like
Yeah.
crying foul of Donald Trump for the last 10 years, with his scoops and stuff. But he didn't bother to tell us that he was like advising Jeffrey Epstein on how to pedophile.
Hey, this would be good PR for you.
Yeah.
I read
Just nuts.
I read those handful, the ones we're talking about, of emails, but it seems like, a curious mind could easily drill a little deeper. And if you ask the internet community, I'm sure you'd find some people willing to invest some time to, read through that stuff. But my takeaways were like, all right, so yeah, Dave, they have Epstein is putting Trump in the room with a victim for an hour.
Right.
But then he also goes on to say that Trump knew. That seemed to be his big cudgel that he was wielding. Trump knew, meaning I assume or I interpret Trump knew that young women were being abused. But
Yes.
if that's his big cudgel, then his big cudgel is not Trump did something with one or more underage victims.
Right.
We don't know what we don't know. Like, we have this trove of emails that were released by the estate to the committee that was investigating. But what we don't have is the Epstein files. And that is the solid,
Not yet.
but
wait.
decisive
But wait.
implications.
Government's
who was
opening
involved.
up again.
Yeah,
Government's opening
so-
up. You're going to
Grijalva's
get
been seated, hasn't she?
Grijalva.
And voted. They had their 218.
Yeah.
I think.
That already happened.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Mike Johnson said that there's going to be a vote next week. The Republicans tried some like real shifty ass move where I forget his name is like Blanchett or someone like that. He tried to get a vote, an anonymous vote on whether to release, to give cover to people that could then vote no, to save Donald Trump's neck.
Really?
And the Democrats said no fucking way.
Yeah.
So then immediately he went public and was like, the Democrats have been crying for the Epstein files and they blocked the vote to release them. It's like, no, they blocked the anonymous release because they don't want you chicken shit motherfuckers hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like more is about to break too, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like we're just kind of getting
Scratching
started?
the surface.
The tip of the
Here was
iceberg.
the
Just
most
the tip.
fun. The most fun that I had with this was before the day of the release and before Adelita was seated, Trump was having meetings in the Situation Room with the members of the Congress who he thought he could flip. And that's not like an accusation based on nothing. He had Nancy Mace, who's the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs congresswoman running around in her pink pajamas, and Lauren Boebert, the theater ensemble, if you will.
The theater
and-
handy.
Right. And those were the two people he called into the Situation Room. Like, you don't do like trivial frivolous stuff in the Situation Room. I assume that's for things that are situational,
Yeah.
that have raised the rankers of your generals and your Defense Department and your DOJ.
If you're the
So
president and you bring a couple congressmen into the Situation Room, it's already a big deal by the way you're framing it.
yes, and the only ones he brought in were the two that were voting with Massey for the discharge vote to release the Epstein files.
Yeah.
So it sure seemed like Donald Trump was shitting his pants and doing everything he could to stop that vote, and he didn't. The two young ladies I just mentioned, to their credit, did not betray the vote. Who knows what they'll do later on, but for the moment, and they also claimed that he did not ask them about the vote, which points to them still being lying wretches. Because what were they talking about then? The weather? Why those two?
Yeah.
Just them? Yeah. He wanted them to betray Tom Massey. That's the. By the way, Massey is wrong 91% of the time. 91% of the time he agrees lockstep with Donald Trump, and he's like one of these very alt-right, bordering on anti-Semitic voices in the Congress, who has one saving grace, and that's he wants the Epstein files released. So it's a strange bedfellow for Democrats, but him and Ro Khanna have sort of been championing the release of the Epstein files. We are going to get that. Barring some maneuvering by Donald Trump that I can't predict, that Stephen Miller is scripting.
They'll finally make their way off Pam Bondi's desk, where they've been sitting under a, what do you call those things? A cloture?
One of the other revelations we didn't mention was that I think his name is Blanche, Todd Blanche, who's the second to Pam Bondi at the DOJ.
He's the one who interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah.
He interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell in July and a previous meeting, and the emails betrayed the report that he gave on what happened and what she said, which was also shocking, because if he had seen these emails, he would not have reported that she, didn't implicate Trump in anything, or there was one other hook that came out of this. So that guy's in hot water too, if anyone cared and held people responsible. I don't know if they do that anymore.
No.
So, yeah, there's enough schmear to go around, but Donald Trump, I think, is he is the pedo in chief this week, based on this, this news. He either
Megyn Kelly says
girls...
he's not a pedophile. He just likes them barely legal.
Barely legal, right? Barely legal was what the porn mags would call women who were legal.
Actually legal, yeah.
Actually legal. So she must know that on some level, or doesn't. That's what she's doing with that.
Yeah.
But, barely legal, it might mean legal in porn land, but it doesn't in real world.
No, I mean, even in the real world, barely legal is still legal. I think what she meant to say was almost legal.
Right.
Nearly legal.
Not yet legal.
Virtually legal.
Right. You
No,
have
not
to
even
be
virtually.
18 to be barely legal.
Right.
Right.
If you're younger than that, you are illegal. You are you're not barely anything. So
I hope that that's something people ask that lady for the rest of her life. Can we talk about the difference between an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old for like an hour? Do you mind?
Now,
I need to hear your distinction.
If Putin has like pedophilic dirt on Donald Trump, it would kind of explain everything about Trump's behavior vis-a-vis Putin. Why he negotiates so poorly, if you want to even call that negotiating. Why the respect, the meetings, the deferrals, the deference was the word I was looking for. And giving Putin all kinds of gifts would certainly be consistent, but I don't know. I'm tempted to believe it because I want to believe it, and it kind of fits, like square pegs and square holes in my mind, but I don't know. I'd like something a little more convincing.
I'm convinced.
You are watching Generation Exile.
Really hate that sad loser, Mr. Newberger.
Who, me?